guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Lunch Break. This is the show where I bring on people in their cool cars, and then we take them driving. Then we go get some lunch. Today, another special guest. What's your name?
I'm Steve. I'm the proud owner of this 2008 Infiniti G37s. Actually owned by Ethan, who was the first episode in that GTR R35, which you can probably check out right here. Yeah, Ethan owned it for a few years, took great care of it, did a few nice upgrades. It's still running a stock motor, but we did do a couple of upgrades. We put a nice Stillen exhaust on there, performance clutch. We also redid the motor mounts, transmission mounts, solid differential mounts, all with the Z1 Motorsports equipment there. And then we also did the Hotchkiss sway bar kit, which is fantastic for hitting corners with. So corners really well. This is a car that we like to use for autocross. So that's in large parking lots, going around cones, it's a time attack style race. So it's one car out at a time, and it comes down to the thousandth of a second. So having the ability to hit corners a little bit quicker makes a big difference. We also put on steel brake lines, a master cylinder brace for the brakes there as well, so it stops on a dime, turns really well. Yeah, ultimately it's just a great car. It's a ton of fun, great for road trips. You could drive it for hours, and yeah, it's not a tiring car to drive. It's a ton of fun, unless you're in stop-go traffic with that racing clutch. Is a little annoying.
So you said, like, you guys built it for autocross, you said?
Yeah. So it's in the Okanagan. They've got a couple of races. Every week they meet up either at the Okanagan College or up at the Cal Tire Place in Vernon. There's also events down in Vancouver. Most big cities have their own autocross events, and they are a ton of fun. So it's open to any driver, any car. You can't come in an SUV, but as long as you're in a car that's not a rollover risk, you're welcome to enter. It's a great way to hone your driving skills, meet lots of people who are enthusiasts about cars, and just have a lot of fun and be a better driver at the end of the day.
You want to pop the hood for us? I want to see what's underneath this thing.
So there she is. So we put in the Tanabe strut bar, which I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong. But that helps in really aggressive cornering as well. Yeah, it keeps the car from flexing too much under hard cornering. We did put the K&N high flow filters in, which makes it a lot more snappy and peppy. So otherwise, it's all stock and just a fun car to drive.
Now, even though it is stock, what kind of horsepower, what kind of torque you think you're running?
So with all of the things that we've done to it, I haven't had it on a dyno yet. To the engine with the exhaust and the intake should be running around kind of that 350, but to the ground, realistically, you're probably looking at about 270. I know guys can run these up into the 350s with just bolt-ons.
Oh yeah.
Haven't done a very aggressive tune or anything to it yet. So yeah, it's definitely, the Infiniti tends to be a little bit more of the old man car for the first owner, and then the second owners tend to realize that they're really good for tuning. You can push these cars pretty hard, and they perform really well. So,
like you said, it's run for autocross. I see you're running some rather bald tires and some nice Enki wheels.
Yeah. So I just 2 days ago pulled into a parking lot, grabbed some groceries, came out, and my tire was completely flat.
Bruh.
Did an alignment, and the toe was a bit too aggressive on the front, and that resulted in wearing out the inside of the tire quite quickly. So normally I run some nice 20-inch niche rims, but in a pinch I needed to have tires, and conveniently we had We had these really lightweight rims by NK, and then we're also running the Bridgestone RE71Rs as our autocross tire. So these are our old tires. We've got a new set at home, but I threw the old ones on just so I could drive it on the road and not wear out the nice tires for autocross. But these they're fantastic, super grippy tire. I mean, they're almost bald, so we might have a little bit of fun. They're a little bit slippery now, but yeah, they're about as close to as slick as you can get on the road.
Yeah, this car is just gorgeous to look at. And
Got the
I don't know if you can
stainless
see it
steel
here.
exhaust tips with the still in here, and also the carbon fiber diffuser was put on. This was a couple owners ago. So everyone who's owned the car has kind of done a few little upgrades here and there, and it's made a big difference. If you get the camera right down underneath,
oh yeah,
so it's hard to see, but right underneath there you can see I've got the solid differential mount. So we put in the really stiff poly mounts, and then we did the steel brace, and that was a huge difference. The original mounts are a thing that tend to fail in this car. So a lot of people that drive them think that they're a little bit clunky in the rear end, and that's just because their differential is bouncing around. So
oh yeah.
after about 6 months of the differential clunking in the rear, I decided it was time to make a change, and as soon as I did that, it puts the power down so much faster. You can kick the rear end out really easily, and yeah, it just puts the power down in a really snappy way, especially when you have the transmission and the motor mounts all nice and stiff.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I wish I knew more about cars. I enjoy driving them. I'm a decent driver, but I'm a terrible mechanic. So that's where Ethan, the guy with the R35, he did the majority of the work on the car. He's taught me everything from changing tires and oil changes all the way through to working on the differential and doing the motor mounts and everything like that. So Ethan deserves the big props for this one. I'm very thankful and yeah, very blessed to have him as a friend and another guy that we can go for drives with.
That's super cool. Yeah, I love this car, man. I can't wait to take it driving.
Well, let's get it out on the road and see
Oh
what you
yeah.
think.
All right, so we're currently in the Infiniti here with Steve.
Hello.
We're gonna take her onto the highway and see what she do. It's been like 2 minutes, and I just love the way it feels. It doesn't feel like a race car, but it doesn't feel stock whatsoever. And it sounds good too.
Yeah, it's not crazy aggressive.
It sounds
it's
the
not
part.
too loud. It's just it's a good middle ground.
Yeah.
My wife and I love going on road trips. We love doing long trips together, and yeah, the last thing I wanted was to kind of ruin the feel of the car.
Yeah, with like a straight pipe or something, just kind of destroy the sound.
I didn't want to run a super stiff suspension setup, so kept the suspension a little softer than would be recommended for a race setup.
Yeah.
But with this, sway bars are in the stiffest setting, so you can hit bumps and it absorbs those nicely, but when it's time to hit corners, it just stays super flat.
That's awesome. Here we go. Oh, look at that thing. What the heck?
Oh. So yeah, even though it's got the really lightweight clutch, it's got the lots of racing clutch setup, and it's very unforgiving, but when you get it right, it's butter smooth.
Exactly, yeah.
It almost feels like an automatic, even on the downshifts if you get them right. A good double clutch downshift will make it a really smooth ride.
Yeah, for sure. Just like driving on like light corners, like you can just feel how the suspension's been like set up. It doesn't feel like too soft, too stiff. It feels like just the right amount of like traction you need. It's really good.
You can thank Ethan for that one.
Yeah, we're just gonna give a big thank you to Ethan for doing all the dirty work on how this car is made.
It's not a GTR, but it's kind of like the distant cousin of the GTR.
Exactly. Yeah, that was one of the things I noticed when you popped the hood, is that the GTR like engine layout compared to this one, it looks pretty much the same in terms of where the intakes are placed and where like the valve cover sits and where like just it looks entirely, like, the layout is basically the same position.
Yeah, which is really nice. So if you, like, if guys turbo these, so you can obviously twin turbo this or supercharge it.
Yeah.
Guys who twin turbo these, you can push them up to, yeah, I think I've seen them go around 700 on the dyno. What? Obscene for
That's
rear wheel
ridiculous.
drive. Would be a ton of fun, but yeah, when you do that, if you want to increase the injectors or anything like that, it's pretty common for people to throw the GTR, like R35 injectors into this car, you know, squirt a bit more fuel and
Yeah. I sense a pass. Wow. Whoa, that was punchy. Wow. This thing feels awesome. I can only imagine what it feels like on an autocross circuit. Like, this thing has got to be, like, so good in the corners.
yeah, it's a very, it's sticky, it holds tight to the road. We haven't actually autocrossed it yet with the new sway bars and, you know, all the different mounts.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, last time we were racing, the differential was just like banging
Just
around down
clunking.
there. And I'm really glad that we did a more aggressive, setup for the car. I think that's going to make a big difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's pretty punchy. You know, even on a roll like this, you hit the throttle,
Whoa!
it's still got good get up and go when you hit
Yeah.
it. So, you know, without the turbos, you know, with the GTR, it's very similar. The first half second to a second is almost identical.
Yeah, it's
like
crazy.
When you put your foot down, it's that initial naturally aspirated torque. Obviously, once his turbos kick in, he's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when he shifts with the double clutch.
Oh yeah, totally. Okay, here we go. Whoa! That was phenomenal.
So it doesn't feel like the car is pushing that hard. Like,
Exactly, yeah.
It just takes the corners very.
You feel like you're on a train track. You just kind of go over it.
I'll just do a little swerve here.
Whoa! Oh my gosh!
Sorry.
Oh my goodness! Just bumped the mirror. Oh my gosh. That was crazy.
Yeah, there's no
That's insane.
lack of cornerability in this car.
Totally.
Here we go. I'm gonna go down here.
Brace myself a little bit. Whoa. Whoa! That's insane.
Here we go. We'll do a break as well for you. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
What? That's insane!
So you can time that in your video from 100 kilometers. to
Yeah, exactly.
nothing there, so.
That's insane. That was so fast. Like, it's impressive what you can do with, like, just brakes.
Yeah. Well, it's got the Akabono big brake kit because
Oh,
this is
okay.
the S version. So
Yeah, for sure.
It comes stock with really nice fat brakes. But then, yeah, I did the braided steel lines and the brake master cylinder. That's where you can stop from 100 to nothing in
That's
a very
crazy.
short amount of time.
Yeah, that was like seconds. Dang, if there's one way to describe this car, it's capable.
Yeah.
It does what you need it to do fast.
It's kind of a jack of all trades. It does everything pretty good. So it's like an 8 out of 10 across the board,
Yeah, exactly.
and I like it.
And even then, like, if you're doing better than 6 out of 10, like,
Yeah.
you got a pretty nice car, so.
There you go. All right, what can I get for you, sir?
That's a really long truck. The red one.
Oh wow. One. Oh, thank you. And 2. You weren't supposed to see that. Brilliant. Thank you. See ya.
Got it. Oh.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Lunch break 3.
Lunch break 3. That was an episode of Lunch Break. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to go follow Steve on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, be sure to watch the latest video where I drove with the Caravel and with Shiloh. Yeah, stick around for some more episodes.
Take care. Thanks for watching.